mothers, don't you fear. Ain't gonna drop no bomb over here. Won't be a bang, won't be a boom, just a TV set in your living room. Coming in loud, it's coming in clear, coming like a freight train through your ear. What you gonna do now, what you gonna see when they take your boss balls away? When they take your boss balls away. Teaching us lies, preaching us fear. Oh, my child said the end is near. Now, widows, don't you cry, 'cause all God's children one day gotta die. Well, one day.
That was my thumbs up that everything's good to go.
Good to go. All right, here we go. Let's see, we're getting everything dialed in for this Tuesday night live. All right, Steph. You know, guys, I don't know how to.
You never open it.
I never open it.
Tonight I was like, I'm gonna let you take the lead and do most of the talking. And
I'm the
open
closer.
it and stuff like that.
You're
you
the
are
opener.
the closer. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are connected. Let us know in the comments if you can hear us, see us. Bill Winders, thank you so much. You're already on it, looking and sounding good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So yeah, Tuesday night we are home from Daytona. I know last Tuesday night we were on the road, but we still did our live feed, and that's actually when we did a giveaway with Nelson Riggs. You guys know during Daytona Bike Week, we were doing that giveaway for one of their bags, the bag that we actually rode down to Daytona with. We've got lots of good stuff to say about it, and I'm excited to do a actual video on it to kind of show you guys more in depth the different features of the bag and how it worked for us on that ride.
We got to really try out the rain gear this whole damn trip too.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, we were in it the whole time.
The whole way down there.
Thank God.
And the whole way back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rain gear. Big topic. We'll talk about that. Nelson Riggs rain gear. 2 thumbs up on that, no doubt about it. 5-star Ornery One review. That's what they're going to get. Breathable, not hot, pliable. It's not like wearing a tarp. And comfortable. And we were in it the whole time. So yeah, we gave that bag away last week, and it was fun. And we know who got it.
It was fun. It was Miss Brandy.
Dang.
And yeah, she won it, which was really cool. I know her and Luke are going to put it to use, and they ride all the time also. And so yeah, it's good to see a giveaway, you know, go to someone that you also see ride and puts their journey and their rides and stuff like that and their adventures out there for all of us to enjoy. I know, like, I mean, we ride and we put it out there for people to see, and then I hear people talk, you know, all the time, like, thank you so much for showing us your rides. It really helps us get through the winter or something like that. I just noticed something. I need to take this wording off of the live feed here. Let me delete this real quick.
Yeah, so
anyways, but it's nice to see them put something out there because it helps us. I mean, we have shitty weather sometimes, and it helps to, you know, get through those crappy days when someone across the United States is out riding and enjoying what we absolutely love.
Right, and you were just saying, you know, us traveling, putting our stuff out here, like our social media, and like I said tonight, you're watching our live feed, Walk It, Talk It, and Ride It, that we go live on the Tuesday nights. And I did want to say, if you don't know who you're watching or what you're watching, you're watching me and Steph, and I'm TJ. Like I said, Steph, I'm the Ornery One, she's the Ornery Squaw, and our platform is all about our life on 2 wheels and everything that goes with it. The most important thing is meeting people. So this is the great opportunity on our live feeds to bring on people that we've met over the years of riding a motorcycle, as well as all the things that we learn on a motorcycle. That is the motorcycle itself and all the mods that we do and the upgrades. We do a lot of talking about the 2-up because Steph rides with me 2-up because of things she's gone through in the past. She's not able to ride by herself at this time. So we do just a lot of, it's a couple thing. It's you and I, and it's amazing to get to see everything that we get to see together and get to share it. And then we get to meet some amazing people And that is opening up what we're going to do tonight.
That kind of ties in two factors, because we were just talking about the weather that they are having, our guests, the crappy weather that they're having. Wow. I couldn't imagine. You guys have watched this long enough that you've probably heard me bitch about the cold. I hate it, especially when it lingers. So yeah, these folks are really getting some crap.
So, I guess you can introduce, kind of talk about exactly what we're going to get into tonight.
Yes.
And then it's pretty amazing. This is one time that you guys are going to see me talk about something that I haven't experienced.
Yeah, that is going to be that's so true, because I was actually kind of writing up a description for the video yesterday, and I was like, you know what, like, I was reading all these reviews about the museum, and I was like, this is our biker bucket list. Like, we've got to go and experience this and check it out. And unfortunately, we haven't had an opportunity. And like you were saying earlier, tying into like how we've met so many people on the road through this experience, we met this couple during the High Seas Rally over October, November. You guys know that we went on the cruise, and
we actually got off and was in Nassau, if I'm thinking right.
I think somewhere
on the streets.
Nassau, I don't know how you say it.
Nassau, I don't know.
NASA, I don't know.
It ain't NASA. Anyway, we're just out walking the streets, right? And of course, if you've ever been on a cruise ship, they give you a scheduled time. You get off the boat and get back on the boat. So we're just walking around, and we ran into this couple. Had no idea who they were. They were just cool, and it just, I don't know what it was, gravitated to two of them, and we started talking. We started hanging out more as we were on the cruise. And then it came to be one of the best things from the cruise is meeting this great couple. And we've met some other Al Perowitz that we'd never met before.
Now, a lot of cool people.
I know. So Chopper Gary. He's known. We didn't know at the moment. We didn't know at the time.
No, we're newbies.
Nor did we care. I mean, I'm not saying this. But we didn't know who this tall dude was, and had this little petite, very easy
cute
on the eyes.
Cute as ever.
Absolutely.
Cute as ever.
Chick with him. We're trying to figure out everybody where they're from and everything. So he goes into the story about his museum. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So if you guys are not familiar with Tintic Motorcycle Works and Museum, I think is what it's called, but it's in Eureka, Utah, and that's a whole nother story that we should get into later. So you guys know that we absolutely love Eureka Springs. Well, they're in Eureka, Utah, which is not just only that is the coincidence, but his sister, I believe, owns a shop there in Eureka Springs. Our Eureka Springs. So it's it's like,
it gets better than that.
It's stupid crazy cool.
They got a place.
They just bought a place here in Arkansas in the Ozarks. So it's like, it's a small freaking world, especially in the motorcycle community. When you get out there and you start meeting other people in the motorcycle industry and community, it's so small that, they're all over, but
you get out and ride your bike, it leads you to the cool people.
It's very cool.
It was just like how it all unfolded, and this is something that really means something to me, because we're here in the Ozarks, and this is somebody, you guys are following us. There's a lot of you that come in as ornery asses, and we all hang out and gather and ride. This is going to be somebody you guys get to meet here at home, because we're going to have that opportunity.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be there's going to be lots of opportunities in the future.
Yes.
But you guys may be up around the area where he's at, and take the opportunity to go check it out. But let's go ahead and bring him on if you are good, if you're ready to.
We've definitely got to get to this place. So we're kind of going at this a different direction. But like we always say, we meet the people, and then it's about the product next. So this is, I guess, just a direct flow of how things usually play out for us.
Yeah, for sure. Okay,
so,
let me click some buttons.
Just gonna click some buttons, and we're going to go ahead and get Chopper Gary on, because he is at the museum. This is so cool, guys. So he went on down to the museum and opened it up and got in. And they've got, I don't know how many feet of snow there.
I don't know, but let me click this other button here. I have so many buttons to click, guys.
I know, man. It just gives me
kind of slow
anxiety.
Okay. There we go.
So bad. Okay.
I think we've got you on the screen, and you're unmuted.
Can we hear you, Gary?
I can hear you if you can hear me.
There's that fine voice of yours. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So, is it snowing up there, Gary?
It is snowing. I actually have you in the window sill, leaned up against the window, and behind the camera, it is snowing right now as
Yeah.
we speak. Now,
How many feet of snow do y'all have?
I would say 6 to 8 feet in that range.
The
It depends. I mean, there's some drifts that are bigger than that, even, and you know where they've piled up snow from plowing. It's all over. My parking lot has a little bit of a strip that I was able to actually get into the parking lot. I have some good neighbors that plow for me, and but you know, 2 weeks ago there was 4 feet of snow, you know, packed snow, so ice on the road, and our front door, which is actually behind me, you can't even get out the front door or in the front door. There's steps that lead up to the museum that are completely buried, including the railing that's buried. So.
okay, so this is so crazy to me because most of us that are maybe watching this, there are some people that haven't even seen snow before that watches. So to actually say you're talking feet, and then we talk about a foot or two. We I think we got close to a foot this year here, but you're talking about 6, 7, 8 feet of snow, and then of course, good God, I mean, it blows my mind. How long does that take to go away where you never see snow? I mean, is it?
Well, normally the museum is open from April, the first weekend in April till, you know, last week in October if the weather holds.
Okay.
But, you know, so normally the snow is kind of gone by the first weekend in April, or at least it's gone to the point where, you know, bikes roll in and it's, you know, 50, 60 degrees outside, which is really warm, you know, if you're coming off of, you know, sub-zero winter. You know, the guys, they've already been out riding. I mean, we've had a couple days in the 40s and the guys are out riding and that. But where the museum is, we're at 6,500 foot elevation.
Oh.
And so it's a, you know, a little bit later on when the snow disappears here. But down in the valley, they've been able to start riding. But yeah, normally we're open in April, but I don't think we're going to be open until May at this point.
No kidding. So.
And I could shovel if it wasn't frozen. So when I'm saying there's that much snow, it's frozen solid. It's just a block of ice. So I literally have to wait for it to melt.
So what that set y'all back, and then, gosh, man. So
yeah.
Is the riding season usually that same time frame as far as how long the museum's open? That's like the same time frame as the riding season. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes we get, you know, good riding in March as well, and sometimes we have riding as late as, you know, November. But you know, this year's definitely an unusual amount of heavy snowfall. So.
Well, I was curious.
Look at California. Who knew that California could get 10 feet of snow in Southern California, right?
I know, it's crazy, man. So this is not so a normal year, though.
No, this is not a normal. This is like a once in every 50-year type storm.
Yeah.
Storm. Okay. Yeah.
So, Gary.
Yeah.
Now, like I was kind of talking about a while ago, you know, we were on that High Seas rally, and that was really the highlight of it. As looking back, this is an amazing rally, being out on the boat, being with like-minded people and enjoying that stuff. But it comes down to us meeting people, you know, from all over. And how crazy is it that, you know, we meet, I think it was Nassau, out on the streets.
Yeah, no, you were dead right. You guys were walking on the streets. We were walking on the streets. You guys were taking some cool pictures of, you know, in front of old buildings, and kind of we were doing the same thing.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy, man? It blows my mind. I know as the week went on, we just started hanging out more and more, getting to know you guys, and y'all very strongly family oriented, and that means a lot to Steph and I. And, you know, you and I were talking earlier that y'all got a lot of stuff going on here in Arkansas with family, bringing everybody in and celebrating birthdays and just enjoying each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be in your neighborhood on next Friday, actually.
Man.
You guys will be in Texas.
Yeah, so, you know, we're getting around right now, getting everything lined in to do Fandango, which we've never done. Have you ever been down there?
I haven't had a lot of friends that go to it, though, and it's a, from my understanding, it's a chopper, you know, type of rally. It's And there's some old school antique bikes that are there as well, but for the most part, it's a, chopper type of kind of
So,
swap.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it because we're going to take Maxwell House in our old chopper and take old Van Gogh. We're going to trailer the old chopper down, and Hank, our little Frenchie, he's going to go with us. So it's kind of it's a different vibe for us, than usually just rolling on the road glide, just Steph and I. But with saying that, Gary, like, they're at your museum, man. Like I said, we have never been there. We're going to come. And I'm curious, like, what, letting everybody know what you have in the museum.
Sure. So let me tell you what the museum is. So we've been here since 2016. I bought a historic building in a historic town. The town is Eureka, Utah. It's an old mining town that was established in 1850, and it was a thriving silver mining town until about 1950. And it had a population of, the area had a population of about 9,000. Now the area has a population of about 750. So it's really, really declined. But all of the buildings and Main Street that, supported that community, most of those buildings are still here. And for decades, they remained just empty and dilapidated and falling down. And the building that I bought is actually an old post office that was built in 1922. It's on the National Historic Register, and it sat empty as a post office. It sat empty since 1980 when I bought it in 2015. And then we came in and did it, and it's literally just Candace and myself. And Candace hopefully will be joining us. She's running a little late, but her and I did almost everything inside the building to restore it and get it back to working building again. And so the building itself is pretty cool. And then all of the buildings down Main Street, I mean, they're all 1890 to about 1920 would be the newest building on Main Street. So in fact, I think it's me. I think I'm the newest building on Main Street.
No kidding. That's crazy. So you said you and Candace did all the work in the building. And that's pretty amazing there that y'all are still married.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a hard worker, man.
Yeah.
Plastic concrete up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about it, guys. Like, when we met you guys, it just, I could tell right away that, it's just, we're like-minded, and you guys, I got a big kick out of y'all. And you could tell she's very driven individual.
She is, yeah. She can't stop moving.
Oh my gosh.
I'm lazy, but she's a mover.
That's Steph, man. Everything that we do, it's 95% her. I'm just front of the house PR kind of guy, BS, which I absolutely love. And that's it. We see that camaraderie in us, like we talk a lot about T.W.R riding across the country with, each other, and how special that really is. And like hearing y'all's story about doing that. I mean, y'all, that's your livelihood. That's all y'all do really is your museum?
So we both have day jobs.
Okay.
And the museum is a weekend thing. We're only open on the weekends.
Okay.
There's really no reason to be open during the week because it is a ghost town in the literal sense, ghost town. But on the weekend, it has a lot of historic tourism that comes through here. And so we come up on Friday night and go home on Sunday every weekend during the summertime. And we're only open on Saturday and Sunday. And then on Saturdays, we have a patio out front that we do live music every Saturday. And inside, over in the corner here, maybe I'll show you later, but we have a full espresso, bar, and we do fancy coffees and, fancy Italian sodas and stuff like that. And I think what's hard is that we don't charge for anything. We're 100% donation based. The only thing we charge for are t-shirts, but we'll make you a $8 Maco Chaco whatever.
Floopy Floppa.
And we tell people, because they ask us all the time, how much is it? We just say, hey, it's, whatever you feel like. If you don't feel like anything, that's fine. If you have a good experience, then give generously. If you don't, then don't worry about it. It's fine. And we have found that if you give, drinks and give stuff away rather than charge for it, people give more if you make it a good experience. So we try and do that. We try and engage everyone that's in here and give them a tour, a one-on-one tour if we don't have too many people in the building at the same time, and make it a good experience. And we give them a tour of the history of the town, the history of this particular building. This particular building has a huge history behind it. And then, of course, of the motorcycles. And unlike some other museums, I do have some really early bikes. I have, bikes that are in the 30s and 40s and 20s even. But the bikes that people relate to are more the bikes in the 60s and the 70s. I don't think we have anything newer than like 1973, but they're not particularly valuable bikes, but they're nostalgic bikes, and they invoke emotions on people when they walk in. So I have a bike that's in here that's no joke. It's probably a $50 bike, but people take pictures of it more than almost any other bike in here. And what it is, it's a 1964 Bridgestone Mountain 100. And a lot of people come in here, that was their first motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
And they no, I'm not exaggerating. They tear up, and they're excited to see it, and a lot of my bikes are like that. So they're bikes that, they're not just any bike. They have to have some sort of nostalgic, meaning or iconic meaning, or just a weird, quirky meaning. Like I have a bike, and I don't know if you can see it in here. It's over there, but it's a 47 Indian Chief with a Volkswagen motor in it. And a powered-by 2-speed automatic with reverse transmission. So just a weird, funky, thing. So
sound like a paraglide.
I got English bikes in here. I got a couple Japanese bikes in here, European bikes, Italian bikes. I have a collection of dirt bikes over here. We're in a dirt bike kind of area, and so I have some pretty interesting, early 70s, late 60s dirt bikes in here as well.
Well, Gary, like you're kind of going through all that stuff, and growing up, we're lucky enough to be riding a Harley Davidson now. I mean, that's what I dreamed of riding, of course, when you're young, but we didn't start out like that. My first bike was a GS Suzuki 850 that I chopped up, make a chopper out of, shaft driven, straight four, and that's really resonates, I think, with all of us, as we get older and we're able to have a nicer bike or get what we want, we always go back to where we started. And one of my favorite bikes was a 600 Honda Shadow. I just chopped it down, a little monoshock. It looked chopperish and didn't do nothing but ride it. And like you were saying, whenever you get to see something like that again, it does. You take a minute. And we've got to get up there and see that place, man. It sounds like we'd fit right in. I mean,
yeah, you'd love it. And it's not just our museum. Like there's other tourism type related businesses that are here as well. And you get to go in these buildings that they've not been restored per se. They've been preserved, but they're rickety. They're falling over. They're leading to the side, and they have life inside of them when you go inside of them.
So I've got to ask: is there a lot of hauntings and ghosty?
So in the summertime, they do paranormal tours there. Yeah, like I think there's 3 or 4 different companies that do paranormal investigation, paranormal tours, and stuff like that here. Yeah. Now in my building, they did. Admittedly, they used to do paranormal tours in this building that I'm in right now. Since I've owned it, I haven't had any in here by my choice, and here's why. Because we actually have lodging inside of here, and when Tannis and I are here, we live in the building. We have 3 bedrooms inside this building, and I've told these guys, and what's funny is that I'm not really into the ghost thing. Now, Candace definitely is. I'm not really into it. But if you tell me there's some weird thing, it's going to plant a seed, even if I don't believe it. And I told these guys, no, I have to sleep here, man. Don't be telling me, weird stuff about the building. And so they don't come in here. Now, with that said, this is a post office, and we're, nobody got murdered here, nobody died here. Anyone who had any emotional attachment to it is pretty much still alive. And
So,
if I'm gonna, have my final resting place, it probably isn't gonna be the post office.
well, so with that being said, you haven't felt anything creep up on you or anything move or a motorcycle start out of nowhere?
Come in and work on somebody's bike.
Yeah, no shit. Mechanic ghost, where you at?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, maybe.
Steph, do you have anything over in the comments? Anybody saying or asking before we get carried away?
No, not really. They were just, I think everyone's just, I'm intrigued of the whole ghost thing, the paranormal thing. And that's ties it back to Eureka Springs again, because there's so much in Eureka Springs that's paranormal, like activity going on. And yeah, it's super cool. But I love history. Go ahead.
You guys are familiar with the Ghost Adventure show, right?
Yes.
So, when was it? It was season 11. Their season opener, their first show in the season, was Eureka, Utah. So if you go back and look at those, I think it's season 11, episode 1. They do a whole thing just about this town. So,
Well,
wow.
it's a Wild West town, right? I mean, you
Yes.
hear about out in the street, that's documented. That really actually, happened here, and it was a rough, tough mining town in the 1800s, and a lot of people got shot.
So was there a brothel in town, and is that building still there?
Several brothels in town, yeah. Interesting enough, one of them, so since I bought this building, I bought more buildings, and one of them allegedly was a brothel at one point. So yeah, so I own one of them.
Can you lodge in it?
Can we start a business?
It's actually so dilapidated. It's actually started falling in.
Oh
so
man.
That's funny.
Well, Gary, I mean, really, when we get down to it, it's about us. I mean, the two wheels, I've been saying this more and more, it just brings us together. It gives us a reason to talk. It's our like-mindedness that we love motorcycles. But at the end of the day, it seems like we all love the history. Anybody that's riding that motorcycle, you pull up against that guy, y'all get to talking, you're going to end up talking about where they're from, where you're from, what you used to do. It's history.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And so if you kind of said something, I was going to ask you if you would. Can you show us a little bit what's going on in there?
Yeah, in fact, let's see.
Very cool.
Can I flip it around, or maybe just do it like this?
Yeah, whatever you want to do, man.
Let me see if I can flip it around. Oh, if I do, there you go. Is that all wobbly?
Yeah.
Wow, it is a ghosty town. That's probably the ghost.
There's the outside, right? I don't know if that's snowing as we speak, but so walking around here, let me go over to the front door. We'll start there. You can still hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
So it was a post office, and you'd come in through these two doors here. But that's how much, well, that's actually melted down.
Oh, my God, Gary. Why would you want to live there? Oh, my God. You guys are crazy as hell.
So I can see these upper rails, but if you look down there, you can't see these lower rails. They're buried.
Oh.
And that's a block of ice.
Oh.
People would through here, this would have been the main thing. They'd walk into what used to be the lobby. This half wall here and that half wall there was completely full of P.O. boxes and windows. Window was actually right here, where you'd walk up to, get stamps or your fishing license or whatever it was. And then this room here was the postmaster's office. That desk there actually is the desk that was in this building in 1922. And it's a little bit of mess in here, I got to tell you. So it's been such heavy winter that we had some water damage get inside of here. And so I've kind of moved some stuff out of the way, but you can see there was a little water damage.
Oh man.
Didn't hurt him. It's just plaster that's kind of dropped down on it. By the way, these are all Italian Harleys. This whole room is Italian Harleys. And these 4 are all the same year.
Really?
Different model from the same year. Yeah.
So as you're doing as you're going through there, do you have it kind of chronological order, or do you have it like different eras or different types?
Yeah, of categories. Like, this room would be, the Italian motorcycle room, I guess, the spaghetti burner room. And then we have a lot of art taken down right now, but normally there's art hanging on all of these walls and then out into the lobby as well, because we're kind of an art gallery as well. And it's all local artists. It's all Petroliana related. In fact, this one here is a guy named Jeff Durant, who is he owns a studio called Iron Cylinder Studios, and this one here was actually his father that did that, and this is one. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
This is one.
Yeah, we can see him.
Well, but normally he comes up and he brings 10 or 12 portraits. These down here are Kayla Cunye, if you know who Kayla is. She has some stuff on consignment here as well. And normally these would all be hanging up. This is kind of a little bit of mess with the cleanup. There's the safe or the vault from 1922. And I don't know if you can see above it. Can you see that window up there?
Yeah.
So it's dark up there, but that was the inspector's mezzanine. So in 1922, employees still stole from their employers. And so they'd have these postal inspectors because they did not have cameras, and they would come in and they would watch people through these louvered windows.
What?
Yeah, in fact, let me walk over here. I'll show you what I mean.
So somebody just sat up there in that crow's nest and watched people.
They would, yeah. And if you look, there's a louver right there.
Jesus.
Not for heat. That is for
spying.
Watching. When you're up in that room and you look out, you can see perfectly. But this room up here is about a 12 by 12 room, and we turned it into a Airbnb. So, and actually the door's locked going up. I was going to walk up there with the door's locked.
Probably the ghost locked it.
Probably.
The ghost of watchers past.
Yeah. So we've had dozens of people actually stay up inside of that room.
What?
And the get to is up a ladder. That by the way, the ladder is in a secret corridor in a secret room. So it's pretty interesting.
Man,
but people.
Gary, this is quirky as hell, man. I did not expect any of this. And that's exciting for me because sometimes it's best that way. I was not expecting what you're telling me.
Yeah, I like the whole fact that it's a motorcycle museum, but also in this building that it's a history lesson in all of itself. Just the different rooms and the features of the rooms and stuff. It's really cool.
Well, what we tried to do is not forget that it was a post office, right? Mm-hmm. We left, P.O. boxes. Can you see these?
Yep.
We left the P.O. boxes in here. This scale, for example, all these scales are the actual scales that were put in here in 1922. This glass table here is all original to the building. And,
is the laptop as well?
What's that?
Was the laptop a 1922?
Oh no, that's a 2009. Is a laptop? I thought it was a porn. Not a laptop. Yep. But got a lot of just weird stuff. Like I collect torches. I don't know if you can see those.
Yeah, I love it. And
ugly taxidermy. I have all over the place. This stupid taxidermy, and these are all machine tools. And again, they all have to have a connection to motorcycles in some fashion, right? This little area in here that you can, there's tables in here for people that want to hang out, but then most of the people hang out on the patio outside.
Yeah, where
when
the
they come
snow's
in.
at. Yeah.
Right, and snow is now, yeah. But, I've got, like, here's a 1954 Harley Davidson.
Wow.
And got the guy in his gear. And that's all period, correct stuff. And this bike runs. This particular bike, I rode this bike here. I didn't trade with that bike here, but here's a first year tote goat, if you've heard of tote goat.
No.
There's a tote goat is the very first purpose-built dirt bike in America. They were built in Utah, and I think this one, if I remember right, I think it's a 1958. I think is what this one is here.
That's so. That I would say that needs some legend suspension or something. That's a dirt bike.
That's a dirt bike, and so here's the deal: it was designed for hunting. So the theory was that you would ride it up because it's really low geared. It only does like 8 miles an hour. It's really torquey. It'll climb over trees, and I don't know if you can see that well. But then you would hook your deer after you shot it, or you put it on the back right here, and you would ride out with your game. But give you an idea how big a deal it is. I mean, this is a whole. In fact, it says America's first off-way cycle. But this is a whole, coffee table book about the tote goat and the history of the tote goat.
Oh my God!
But they're really, yeah, and they're mostly a West Coast or Western thing.
Oh my Lord!
Harley Davidson. Yeah. That's a '65 Harley Davidson. That's a Cushman right there.
Yeah, man.
And all of these, I don't think this one runs, but the rest of these all run. This bike here is a 42 WLA, Harley Davidson WLA. And this bike is what brought me to Arkansas. So I did a cross-country chase years ago that went through the Ozarks.
Yep.
And the bike I rode all through the Ozarks.
Really?
And that's kind of what led me to end up buying up there because it's so pretty out there, and I decided to go back and buy something.
Well, how'd you hold up?
I was going to say we have less snow, so you made a good decision.
I did.
So how'd you hold up on that ride? How did you like that cross country?
So there was 100 riders, and only I think 50 completed it out of the 100, and I think I placed 16th.
No shit, man. That's awesome.
Honestly, I was really, really surprised that I did that well on it. It was the first time that I, tried to do that on an antique bike. I think we did 1,800 miles, give or take, and my average speed was 25 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh! So, you might as well just got the Cushman out, man.
Long days. Oh, so that's the next. Actually, have a cross country, event. It's actually called the Cannonball as well, but it's for scooters. And we're talking about maybe doing it on a Cushman.
Yeah.
or on a Harley. This bike here is a Harley Davidson. Most people don't know that Harley Davidson made scooters. This isn't Italian. These are actually made in Wisconsin.
Oh, wait, man. Is that the ones that was on the flyers that they made and it had like the woman standing beside it?
Yep.
And yeah.
Well, they had a flyer for that, and they have another bike I'll show you over here later. It's called a Hummer. This is a topper. In fact, one of the ads said, my wife, really loves me because she gave me a Hummer for my birthday. Which at the time made sense, but now it's really funny.
Yeah, those days have passed.
Yeah. I'm probably familiar with Serby cars, right? The three-wheeled.
That's amazing.
That was a police vehicle, meter maids gave them. Yeah. This is that bike that is a 47 Indian Chief that has a Volkswagen motor in it.
What the hell? Would you look at that?
I don't know if you can see that gas tank, but that holds, no joke, 10 gallons of gas.
God, that may have been the first thought of being
a bagger.
Yes.
I tell people it's the world's first bagger because no bikes had full fairings on them, right? So, and this thing is so folk art, man. It's so farmer made, And
it's a street glide.
It's it's a street glide.
It's the first. What is the Indian chieftain? So that'd be the first Indian chieftain.
Yeah. Oh, the Chieftain is the
Night
that's the one
Chief. What is it?
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of it
I'm
is.
not Indian, dude.
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude.
This bike came from Florida, and this bike was still registered in the 80s, and the bike was built in like 1960. So the guy rode the hell out of it, you know. And by the way, you think this is for like a LCD or a flat screen?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
literally just a glove box to put your gloves in.
Put your cigarettes in.
Yeah, it's all falling apart, obviously.
Oh,
This
man.
bike's intense, too. That's the crazy thing. We've actually fired that bike up. I'm not saying it's roadworthy. I'm saying it fired up. It ran. So,
I'm going to tell you, though, man, you think about that, though, Gary. Putting that thing together, somebody had to have a little I mean, they had to be good at shit.
yeah. Yeah, he had to. I mean, it's all farmer rigged, but he built his own jack shaft. This thing's shaft drive also. I forgot to tell you that. It's shaft drive. It's
What
not
the
dangerous.
hell?
Yeah. It's the funkiest thing ever, but it's cool. You know?
It's amazing.
Super. And then I told you I had a dirt bike collection. This is some of them here. This is a 73 Husqvarna 450 TWR. This is 450cc two-stroke.
Ooh,
So-
boy.
This bike will do 100 miles an hour, and it's a 1973.
I would not. I don't know. I bet it would. I don't know if I don't know. You get on that thing.
I've had it in the 80s myself,
Yeah.
and it's the 1969 Bultaco Persang.
Say what?
Yeah. a
Say it
boat
again.
tail.
Say it again.
A Bultaco Persang. Pursang.
Okay.
And then that's just a little Yamaha there. And then that bike there is a 1970 Husqvarna 400 Cross. And if you notice that it says a Firebirds Motorcycle Club,
Yeah. Oh.
so the Firebirds Motorcycle Club was established here in Eureka, Utah in 1969. And they were a bike club of dirt bikes. You know, they just raced dirt bikes out in the desert. And their founder, a guy named Kay Sorensen, was the founder of it. And this actually is all of his jersey. So the leathers, the jersey, this is actually a chest protector.
I think you turned your video off real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
It's okay. We got to see this vest.
Yeah. I'm imagining it. There you are. You good-looking devil. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Can you see?
Yep.
Yes.
I can see you.
Yeah. So this is a chest protector, which is just a piece of vinyl vest, right? And they all had windbreakers. You know, the founders all had these windbreakers. Well, there was 6 founders all together in 1969 that all got these vests, and I own 3 of the 6. If you can see them, they're all over here. So I've kind of become the caretaker and the historian for the Firebirds. They're still around today, actually, the Firebirds are. All of these trophies here are all from Kay Sorensen. In fact, this one right here, you guys have, can you see that? I don't know if you see that.
Yeah.
You guys have heard of the Widowmaker hill climb?
Yep.
Yes.
And that is a trophy from the Widowmaker hill climb when it was going on here in Utah. And then this banner here, this post, is the very first poster, the first race that they sponsored, and it's from September 27th, 1970.
Good.
Eureka. This was a big, and they still, I think there's about 2,000 people that show up to this race every year. It's called the Hare and Hound race. And if you see, it's called the Firebirds 100 because you literally do 100 miles through the desert. So,
Hey,
like,
dude,
don't
I got a question, man. How the hell do you retain all this information? Just what you told me. There is so just to back up to just who you are. How so the motorcycle thing? This is your life. I mean, you've been in. This is. How did you get into motorcycles?
So I grew up in Southern California in the desert.
Okay.
And rode dirt bikes as a kid, and as I grew up, I moved to Utah in 1985. I was 21, 22 years old, and then ended up progressing to street bikes. As I got older, and that's kind of how I got on Harleys. I think I probably got like legitimate Harley. I was kind of like you. I had like a Honda Interceptor back in '80s, and the first bullet bike, and then it progressed, more and more until I got a Sportster, probably in about maybe the early '90s, maybe, and then on to bigger, Harleys. So that's kind of what got me. And then lately, it's gotten a little bit bigger because. To be honest with you, when I bought the museum, I think I owned or bought the building to start a museum. I think I owned about 30 motorcycles, and since the museum, I think I'm closer to 100 now. and I, in my head, I go, hey, I got a museum. I can buy all the bikes I want.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. That's super cool, though.
Oh, man.
I don't know if it's okay to buy another bike because, we have a motorcycle museum. And I can only fit so many up here. We're on the first floor. There's another floor, which we still have to finish. And we have bikes stored down there right now, but we still got to finish it to make it look, more like this one.
Okay, man. So, listen, now I'm curious. Is there any way that you can start a museum here in Arkansas?
So, where Hardy, Arkansas is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love the cat food. Or catfish.
Hardy that I've been looking at.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's an old gas station. Yeah.
Oh, I know right what you're talking about.
Yes.
The one at the very town?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Not very big, but I was telling Candace, I'm like, hey, we can focus on quality bikes rather than quantity bikes.
Yeah, because when you come into town, it has like the old gas station, like the actual gas pump sitting out there.
It does, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a wood town, and then on the opposite side is where that gas station is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So right down the road is Cross-Eyed Catfish, one of the places we love to eat catfish.
Yeah, man. They know us when we come in.
I'm only just a couple miles from there where I bought a house. So, yeah, I'm right there.
Yeah, when we go that direction, we always stop in there. The girls are always so sweet to us. They've got great cat food. And it's
catfish.
Cat food. I know.
Food.
That's what I say. But it is good eating. It's so much fun. Oh, there you go. Man,
I think I gotta go. Man, hold on a second. My battery's going dead.
Oh, God. You better go plug that thing in.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy, Gary? Like, you get to talking, and I mean, that's it. You get out here with the motorcycle thing. It's crazy. And truckers, too. I got some buddies that are great truckers, and they get out there and they get to talking about going down this road, and they know the same old oak tree with that old sway back horse up beside it. I mean, we all can visualize everything on the road. It's so cool. I mean, I just love it to death. I would love to see that happen, man. You've got wow. You've got 100 bikes.
Showed you, no joke. I probably only showed you like 15% of what's in here. There's this. It's organized clutter, right? There's everything that's in here is petroleum or motorcycle related. I didn't get to show you the bicycles. Like I have tons of bicycles that are in here, and all of the bicycles are. I only collect bikes that are connected to motorcycles. So if the bicycle company also made motorcycles, then I'll get them. But I have 2 Indian bicycles in here. I have a Henderson bicycle in here. I've got an Elgin. I've got some Columbias, and all of these are habitually made motorcycles. So they're kind of.
With all of this being said, and Gary, there's no way I'd ever expect you to pin it down to one, but can you tell me what maybe is one of your top bikes that your favorite?
My own personal?
Yeah.
So the bike, that's definitely has an emotional attachment. But by the way, people ask me this often, and I guess it's whatever bike I've been riding or whatever bike I finished and I'm having fun with. And this is going to sound stupid, but right now, my favorite bike, and it's because it doesn't require a battery. It's a magneto only, so it always starts, right? I don't have to keep it on a battery tender. I don't know if you know, a lot of these bikes are battery tenders, and it's just fun and stupid to ride. And it's actually Cushman right there.
No shit.
That thing will do like 30 miles an hour.
What?
And it's just fun. It's just fun. You get on it, it starts every time, and you just go cruising on it, you know? As long as you don't got to get on, you know, a major road, you're just running down to the liquor store. That's the one.
I absolutely love it, man. And
They're fun. I mean, if you've ever had in fact, I used to joke with guys, you know, that rode scooters. I would say something like, can I curse on here or kind of?
oh hell yeah.
So I would tell my friends when they rolled up on a scooter, talk about their scooter. I'm like, yeah, scooters are exactly like motorcycles for guys who like to feel the wind blow through their vagina. Now, I kind of like scooters.
Yeah, you're getting the wind blowing. Yeah, I got what you're saying, man. It's nothing like getting a fresh gust of air through there, getting it all. I love it. That's one thing Steph and I've always said. I love picking on people. I get razzed all the time about whatever we're riding or whatever we're doing, but that's the fun of it, and to get to experience different things. A lot of people don't get to do that.
Yeah.
You know.
By the way, the bike that's right behind you, that bike right there, that's a 65 Harley Davidson Sprint. And I took that bike to Sturgis. This has probably been 10 years ago. And I took that bike all over downtown Sturgis and out to the Chip and out to Glencoe. You know, we rode it all over. And Candace was in a bikini on the back.
No.
And we rode that thing everywhere, and dudes were just, you know, they're pulling up and they're checking it out, and every time they'd roll up, I get the one, I'm like, hey, do you guys, you know, we want to race or and they're like, that girl's hot, you know, and I'm like, it's the bike, man. It's the bike.
Yeah, well, you know, you were going slow enough where absolutely anybody could roll up on you and check out your bike. And it is pretty cool, though, to be able to see anything different, especially, you know, I mean, really, honestly, down at Sturgis, you see everything, but you see a lot of the same. And anything different will get your attention. And it doesn't always have to be loud. I mean...
No. And hey, listen, I don't know about you guys, but I've been to a lot of Sturgises, right? And I've been there when it wasn't Sturgis, so got to really enjoy the roads and ride all the really good, you know, loops that are in that area. And it is beautiful. I mean, it's definitely in the top 5 riding places in America, you know. And but with that said, anymore, that's not why we go to Sturgis, because we've already rode all of those rides, you know. And so we go to visit people like you guys, right? We go to see our friends, and the last 2 times that we've gone to Sturgis, we didn't even take a motorcycle. And it was fine. In fact, I told Candace, I'm like, next time we'll take scooters or we'll take a golf cart, because that's just as fun, you know. Just
okay, so you just touched the nerve. That's what Steph and I are like thinking, like, you know, we're on this bike 12 hours a day. I mean, we're just running. And then we get to go to these smaller rallies like the Fandango down here, and then Tennessee Motorcycle Music Revival. We're going over there. We're really looking into like just getting those little mini bikes for us, just to kind of just so we can just putt around and just.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know, man. It is really about seeing everybody and just hanging out. A lot of people talk about Sturgis, and I tell them the same thing. And then, Gary, you get thinking about Sturgis. Amazing. And if you haven't never been, you got to go. But it's pre-Sturgis. And then there's Sturgis. I mean, Sturgis lasts forever. It's crazy.
Yeah. I tell people that this is like a, you know, kind of a, you know, spiritual kind of thing. But honestly, I can't think of another place, and it's changed a little bit since, you know, let's say, you know, I think the first one I went to was like 2005, but it's changed somewhat, and the older guys will say, oh man, it's changed, you know, drastically, even more so than what I'm saying. But up until, you know, the recent political climate, you could go to Sturgis and you could see every race of you know, human. Yep. You could see every religion on the planet. You could see every motorcycle manufacturer represented, Honda or Kawasaki or Harley or Indian, whoever that is. you could see every political party, kind of represented there, and everybody got along, right? If you look at like the arrest records from Sturgis, not that they don't have people that get arrested, they do, but if they arrest 200 people, I'd be surprised. And you got to realize, that's more than 500,000 people, and only 200 people get arrested, right? That's a tiny, tiny amount, and I don't know anywhere else on the planet that you can get that much diversity and they all get along.
Yep.
And that's about motorcycles, right?
That's
you could be a Democrat or you could be a Republican, but if you start talking about motorcycles, then all of a sudden nobody cares.
no, and that's one thing, and I totally agree. And we don't, throughout our social media platform and how we view things, and we're talking about it right now, Gary. But as far as all that, we tread lightly on all that stuff. But when it comes down to it, the like-mindedness comes from the motorcycle. And usually, like we were saying, when you sit down and thank God for that, because I know all of us, we get that stuff shoved up our ass and down our throat daily. And we need it. It feels so good to be with us, because none of us talk about any of that, and if it does, it's just like a little here and gone. And we're talking about motorcycles and what the hell did she have on, and what the hell was he doing, the real important stuff in life, and that's just enjoying life. And that's how we met, man. If I get the biggest damn kick out of how we met, and like as soon as we met, and like you call me, if we haven't talked in a month or two, whatever, we're right back to the same conversation, acting just, it's amazing. And we have so many friends like that.
Yeah, social media has kind of done that for us too, right? You're old enough to exist before social media, and it's pretty remarkable, that we still have. I have plenty of people that I'm friends with, but the only time I see them is during the rallies, but it's literally like you said. You see them at the rally, and you're right back into, like a day never went by, right?
It's crazy, man, and it's pretty amazing how everybody supports each other too. It's just like what you're doing up there with the museum, and you guys, like now you're just, we think about you guys. We're wanting to know how you guys are, and then it's like we have ornery asses that are watching now that we built this community just based around two wheels, but like I said, it just brings us together, and we got a special thing. Everybody talks about it fading, and I can see that things are changing, but in my eyes, we have kids coming up that are riding, and they're just quiet. They don't speak out. They're like us, they're not the squeaky wheel. We're still out there, and we need to just keep on. You, like what you're doing there, that's so important, because we can bring our kids.
Different generation, what used to be out there 30, 40, 80 years ago, right, in the motorcycle world. And they do think it's cool. There's, even on the Chase or the Cannonball, I think you're familiar with both of those.
Yep.
They have a program to get youth involved in those. And I think on the last Cannonball, they had 6 kids and they're all, in their, under 25 years old, let's say. And they get a bike donated to them, and they rode it, 3,000 miles coast to coast, because I'm 59 today, by the way.
Oh.
And
happy birthday!
I should have said that. But yeah, it is. But I'm relatively young for guys that are into old motorcycles, right? And because most of these guys that are into old bikes, they're 70, 80 years old, and unfortunately, they're going to be dead in 10 years. A good percentage of those guys, and you don't have 20-year-olds that are learning about old motorcycles, or even how to work on them, so having old stuff, and it's not even just the motorcycles. I have old petroleum, old oil cans, old machinery in here. I've hit and miss motors that are in here, and talking to the youth about that and old machine tools is kind of cool, and 1 in 1,000 goes, yeah, I think I want that,
Yeah.
and that's
So, Gary, let me ask you this. So, anybody that's watching right now, they can your social media platforms, website. We can mention that right now if you would, so they can find you.
Website, we only do social media. I don't know how to make a website, but I know how to kind of do Facebook and kind of do Instagram. But on Facebook, it's Tintic Motorcycle Museum and Works, I think it is. Tintic Motorcycle Museum and Works. But if you just do Tintic Motorcycle Museum, you'll find us on Facebook. And then the same for Instagram, Tintic Motorcycle Museum. Okay. And by the way, it's Tintic, one word. And everybody goes, well, what is that word? And Tintic is the name of the mining district where we're at. That's what it's.
I had that same question.
Yeah. And Tintic, by the way, has an interesting story. So, before the settlers came here in 1847, that it was the Utes, the Paiute or the Ute tribe that existed out here. And when the settlers came in, the Utes would raid and, steal things from the settlers. And this particular area was kind of ran by a chief, and his name was Chief Tintic. And he would come in and he would rob from the miners and rob from the settlers. And then they named the district after the guy.
Jesus.
So, which I always thought was kind of weird. I mean, I'm glad that, that it's named after Haiti. I think, we forget about our Native Americans too much. But,
yes, we do.
But at the same time, I'm like going, okay, so this guy came and robbed and pillaged and murdered. And you thought, hey, you know what? We need to name this district. How about we name it after that guy?
Yeah, well, it is a weird.
History is weird.
It is a weird thing.
It's. Well, okay.
I mean,
but I'm glad he was able to stick it to the man.
It's Robin Hood kind of thing.
Out the window, and Candace just pulled up. So
no kidding. Well, good. We'll say hi to her. Yeah, man. I'm really intrigued. Although we got to see a little bit of it.
Definitely got to see a little bit of it, but it's not anything like being there in person. And I was just making a comment in the comment section earlier that we're gonna have to do like an Ornery ass road trip or something.
Absolutely.
And go check it out.
That could be an Ornery ass weekend.
3 hard days.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think we're about 1,500 miles from you guys. But
yeah.
It's all beautiful riding though the whole way, except maybe Nebraska and Wyoming. It depends on where
you do you got to get your head right about. Look at her. Look at that. There you are.
Hi, Candace.
Hi, better late than never, right?
Hey, you're never late. You're always on time. How are you?
I'm good.
Your hair looks great.
Thanks. I just got
just got it done.
Thanks.
Yeah, it looks great. And you got birthday boy there. And he was talking about you buying him a Hummer for his birthday.
Yeah. I didn't get to show you the Hummer. It's over there.
That's funny, man. So, Candace, we were talking about how we met you guys and how crazy it is, all the things that we have in common as far as Eureka Springs and then Eureka up there, and then it just keeps going. And we were talking about, the motorcycles, what's bringing us all together and how that means so much to us. And like for us, you guys will always be a part of what we do now, and us being on that cruise ship, you guys were the most specialist thing that came out of this is the relationships that we got off High Seas Rally. It really was. Well, we talking about a lot. I mean, even just down to the kids talking about snails.
Oh, yeah. My kid still asks me all the time, will you ask Candace if her daughter has a snail? I mean, I will message them.
Yeah. Right. I forgot we talked about that.
So, but you guys, will y'all be on the High Seas Rally this coming year or not?
Right. Yeah, so, interesting enough, we had a great time on the High Seas Rally, and I was telling Candace, and we didn't do Sturgis last year. Did we?
No,
we didn't do Sturgis. And we decided to go on that instead. And honestly, it was less money than Sturgis.
Yeah.
So it's a little for the High Seas Rally, but man, if you know, if you can't afford to go to Sturgis, because Sturgis is getting expensive, let's face it, right? And I was like, well, crap, it was cheaper to go on that cruise ship than it was to go to Sturgis.
Well,
and so
it
now
was.
so I would say yes, that we're going to go, but here's our downside. We don't plan, man. Like, I think we bought our tickets for that cruise ship like 3 or 4 weeks before the cruise.
Yeah.
Like, we, with her schedule, with my schedule, we have to, wait till almost the very end to know if we're going to go or not. So, and Sturgis is the same way. Like, even the year before when we went to Sturgis, we went, and we had the advantage that we're not that far from Sturgis, but we went for 2 nights.
Yeah.
I think we were only there 2 days, and that was it.
Perfect.
We drove out, saw everybody we needed to see, and then drove back. We could drive there really easily. So.
Well, we were talking about that. Of course, we'll be at Sturgis, and we'll be hanging out to Buffalo Chip and doing our things with all of our sponsors. But we're talking about the High Seas Rally, and we actually talked to them down there at Daytona Bike Week at Destination. We're excited to see what they're going to do with this year because it's Bahamas that they're taking this year.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
I saw that Dave Perowitz and his whole group is going to be honored again. So
that bunch, man. And once again, we got to meet Al, which is Dave's brother, and we've known Dave and Linda and all them for some time now. But getting to meet everybody that gets on there, you get away from everybody, but when you go out to eat and you go down to the dining hall and you go up to the club or do anything like that, you end up being around each other again, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So it was pretty amazing because I don't think we would have got to hang out like we did if we weren't on that cruise ship, and that was our first experience on a cruise ship, so we had no idea what to expect. Loved it.
Yeah. That was our first time too.
Yeah.
So we didn't know what to expect either.
Yeah.
We were so unsure.
Mailman O'Brien might be watching this, but he's the one who's saying, "No, you got to go on this thing," and so we, they kind of hit us up, and we hung out with them. Getting on the boat, they told us how to, get everything organized and everything, and then I started thinking while we were in line, hey, wait, this is a cruise ship full of bikers with an open bar, and I'm like, that can't be like really good, right? I mean, somebody's gonna get thrown off the boat, and I'm like, there's got to be altercations, when you get too much alcohol involved, and don't get me wrong, I mean, we drank a lot on that boat.
Jesus.
But anyways, and Kevin Mailman was going, I don't think I've ever seen a fight, and they've gone on like, every one of these high seas rallies, and he's like, I don't think we've ever seen that. He goes, you're right, though. It's kind of surprising, that somebody doesn't get pissed off. And then we looked around, and like there was a guy in a walker going up, and a guy in a wheelchair going up, and a guy in a cane going up, and then I was like, oh, that's why.
I'll tell you what, I did see this when we were in the auditorium or where they put on the concerts. There was one guy that was getting a little lubricated. And he was getting a little mouthy, and he was getting to be a little handful. And the High Seas Rally and the cruise director or the people on the boat, they took him out the back up there where the bathrooms are. And of course, I got to piss every 2 beers, so I was walking out there, and they were lining his ass in. And he got a little shitty with him. Of course, I stopped. I wanted to watch the show. They took his ass and put him in his damn room. And I talked to him later because I was impressed how they handled the guy, because in that setting, it could get out of hand. But they kept that thing dialed in.
I couldn't even say it's like a biker thing. I mean, you get, free alcohol, unlimited free alcohol.
Yeah. No shit. And then, a lot of other things that I was really impressed with on the cruise ship. I really didn't know what to expect, and I honestly didn't think I was going to like it. But if we got the chance to go on it this year, we'd definitely go. Hey, guys, listen, I appreciate y'all coming on. I've kept you on here for about an hour now, man. I didn't think it'd be that long, but here we are, getting off on everything that we enjoy talking about. Happy birthday. We didn't know it was your birthday. Wow. 40 years old. Amazing.
Well, I'll be 40 next year.
Okay, next year, yeah. Don't insult him like that.
Well, okay, so next year, guys, all you guys that are watching, we'll be heading down to Fandango, do that thing in Texas. We're looking forward to that, and I've been looking forward for some time to having you guys on and visit with y'all. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I know that we're going to get up there and see the museum and get to see you guys. And then
Definitely.
You know, one thing I'd like to mention, if for you or anyone else that comes out this way, so Utah, the writing is just spectacular. I would put it in top 3, maybe top 5. I mean, it literally is better than Sturgis.
It's amazing.
Have, 6 national parks here, right? But if you're thinking about the historic side of it and the motorcycle in it, there's actually 3 big motorcycle museums right here in Utah, and the biggest, most valuable motorcycles actually are here in Utah. So there's another place called Legends Motorcycle, which is only about 30 minutes from here, and then one called the Erickson Foundation that is about an hour from here, and they're just over the top of how neat they are, and they have restaurants in them and stuff like that. So there's, you can really do like a motorcycle, kind of vacation out here if for your people that are into it, let alone all of the national parks, Zion, Bryce,
it's gorgeous.
Basin, Great Basin. There's lots of places to see out here.
Yeah, I was really impressed with it. We had a ball when we rode up in there. But like I said, this time we'll be coming to see you guys, and we're excited to see the museum. And I want to see the town. It's got me really curious now.
We'll put you up in the inspector's mezzanine.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was hoping the brothel.
Yeah. I tell people if you are a little bit older and have a prostate issue, meaning you got to go to the bathroom a lot in the middle of the night, you don't want to stay in that room because you got to come down that ladder every time.
Dude, I'll get a 2-liter of Coke, and then I just pee in a bottle, man. It's no big deal. You can put that on your wall. That's some petroleum.
Yeah, downstairs we have 2 bedrooms down there as well. So
wow,
crazy, man.
You don't want to go up that ladder, but I will say it's pretty cool to stay in that room, and when you're looking out, you're literally looking out at the museum, So I'm like,
that's cool.
What is it to spend the night in a museum, and look at, when you wake up, you get to look outside from there out the window, but then also you get to overlook at the floor of the museum.
The night of the museum, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, guys. Like I said, thanks. We'll let you guys go celebrate your birthday. Maybe she's got you a Hummer, or I don't know what she's got surprise for you. Something grand, because I can tell she got all dolled up for tonight. Guys, we're looking forward to seeing you guys in person. Thanks for coming on tonight. Like I said, everybody go check them out. I can't wait to get up there. Happy birthday once again, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Candace. All right, we'll see you guys.
Fandango, I assume you're riding down there.
Oh, we're gonna throw the chopper. Oh, we're gonna take the chopper. Oh, Maxwell House.
Yeah, that's right.
You're gonna see Maxwell House. You'll get a kick out of it.
I think I've seen it on your page. Actually, it's a cool looking bike, and that's the crowd, man. They're not all like $100,000 choppers. They're all home built.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
For example, I want to tell you real quick. I had a buddy. His dad passed away, and he incinerated people. So he said he seen me a couple years later, and he says, "TJ, I want to give you a piece from my dad, and maybe you can use it on your bike or something because you do weird shit." And I said, "Okay." So he gave it to me, and I looked at it, and I said, "What the hell is this?" He said, "Well, it's a hip replacement." I was like, "Oh, what the hell am I going to do with a hip replacement joint?" So actually, I made it into my clutch handle. So that's, I have a lot of just one-off pieces from my grandpa's that are on there. The chopper, and we've done 2 or 3, and I sold a couple of them, but this one we're holding on to. But it's just, you got to see the whole thing in person. It really is just a cool bike, and we just, just our own way of doing stuff that, build stuff that you pick up off the ground. It's just really cool.
So the older I get, the more I think that's the way to do it. not that I don't appreciate, big wheel baggers and modern choppers. They're beautiful, really.
Yeah.
But I worry about scratching them, and I'd rather have something that I can beat on and enjoy.
I know, man. It's just like a good woman.
Exactly.
Too far. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a good night, and we'll talk to you all a little later on, okay?
Right.
See you guys. Oh, my gosh. How much fun was that?
That was a lot of fun. Are you?
Getting choked up.
That's because of that horrible joke you just told.
Well, I mean,
that's what you deserve.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Here, have a drink.
No, I'm not drinking that crap. Jesus. Oh man. So
that was really cool though for him to be able to kind of walk through the museum there and give us a little bit, just an insight of what, like he said, probably 15, 20 bikes there, but altogether he's got probably around 100. And then that's so cool that even downstairs, so it's 2 stories, you could see out the front door where he posted. You can look on Facebook and Instagram to see more kind of a layout of the place, but you're actually walking up to like sets of stairs to go into the front doors of the post office. So yeah, like a whole nother floor underneath the first floor that they haven't completely, opened up yet. But, and then on top of that, the history of the building, the history of the bikes, and have rooms in there, like an Airbnb, like kind of thing. And so, yeah, when he mentioned it, and you mentioned it also kind of to the side there, Night in the Museum, how cool would it be to ride up there and spend the weekend, Saturday night where they've got the live music, Sunday just, have, like he said, kind of does a personal one-on-one, walkthrough, and then be able to stay the night in the museum during that weekend.
I wasn't expecting all this.
I
didn't know. I mean, we know them, but we didn't know that about them.
Yeah, I didn't know about all of that stuff. But
unbelievable.
If you guys would give us a thumbs up on our video here, that helps our channel grow, that helps our video, and of course, get the word out about this amazing museum right here, Tintic Motorcycle Museum. I think it's Tintic Motorcycle Works and Museum. I will go back later and put in the link to their Facebook and their Instagram in the description of this video so that it'll be easier to see. If you're watching this video later, you'll be able to see, if you're watching it later, you'll be able to just click and go directly to their sites on social media. And like he was saying, like, they don't charge, and I mean the only thing they sell is the t-shirts, and everything else is upon donation. That is freaking cool. That's really cool because you know that the people have so much passion in what they're doing, and of course they've got to make some money to be able to stay afloat, but they're not in the business of like, making it a, $20 admission and, you walk through it and you don't get anyone to say, hey, how are you doing? Or, hey, this is my favorite bike.
Some people's loyalty only lies in money. And that's so important for us to hang around the people that aren't really like that, isn't it? But man,
very cool stuff.
Could
and
you
I
not
appreciate
tell Gary has the passion?
Yeah.
How does he retain all that?
Well, I think that whenever it is your passion, you know the stuff. Like you absolutely love this bike, or you love this air.
Not this guy. I got a lot of passion and stuff. I can't remember all that. It's unbelievable.
There's all kinds of stuff that you tell me about, welding and fabricating, and rattle off these numbers, and you can look at a welder and be like, well, it's not burning right because you don't have this set to this, and I'm like, how the hell do you know that? But it's because it's your passion. You've learned it. You've done it for so long.
He's definitely got the passion. I just absolutely love talking to him. That's like on the cruise ship. We was drunk and just shot the shit. Again,
the shit.
Shot the shit.
If it's past tense, is it shot? I shot the shit with you.
Listen, if you're gonna start correcting my grammar, you better have a lot of patience.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight, Tuesday night. Every Tuesday night, we're coming live to you instead of Fridays, just because it's easier on us. It's easier on you guys. Enjoy your weekends. Get out there and ride. Not saying that Tuesdays you can't ride, but I'd rather stay home and watch us on Tuesdays. Yeah. But yeah, we appreciate you guys watching, hanging out with us.
We do.
So next Tuesday we will be back, but then on Thursday.
Right.
So not this Thursday, but the next Thursday we're going to be heading down to Fredericksburg, Texas for the Texas Fandango #4.
Texas Fandango Chopper Show.
All I can think about is
Swap
like
meet.
being in the movie cinemas.
All
when
I
say
can
this.
think about is I hope I find a new rim for Maxwell House because I'm
Fandango.
tired of the one I have because I can't get the tire that fits it.
Yes. Send some good vibes that we can find a front wheel.
Yeah, and the Van Gogh gets resurrected from being tired and wore out after 230.
We should have the van back on Friday.
Yeah,
This Friday,
yeah.
of course. So, yes.
So we got a lot going on, guys. This should be really interesting, so hang on. Let us get through the next few days here. We got some personal stuff that we're going through. Then we're going to start showing off what we're doing with the van, what we're doing, getting ready for the chopper, how Hank is going to do. What is Hank going to wear? Where is Hank going to be?
This is one thing he's going to be wearing. This is his little hoodie with the barn shield, and it says Hanky Doodoo. So if you guys are not already following him on Instagram, that is his handle, Hanky Doodoo. That is an underscore between the two words, Hanky _ Doodoo.
Plug that little buddy.
Go follow him.
So we're excited about that. And like Steph said, we'll be going live next Tuesday. And then down there, you guys will just kind of get to follow along. We're going to make a video. I'm going to try to get like a whole lot of footage. So Steph has to go through a whole lot of hours of footage to make this video for Fandango. And then after that, guys, we'll be coming back home. We got a couple of rides around here that's fixing to kick off. So a lot of cool stuff. Guys, just hang on to the edge of your seat or to your handlebars or your twist your throttle and grab the dude's neck from behind. And wow, that just went weird.
That is weird.
That went odd.
All right, guys.
So much.
I did the
weirdness.
opening, so
All right,
you do
guys.
the closing.
I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. I know we did. So I don't know. Maybe that's all that matters.
Maybe.
I don't know. Thanks for coming on, Gary and Cass. You guys mean so much to us, and we can't wait to see you here in the Ozarks. Guys, if you want to keep up with us on all of our other social medias, that's YouTube, of course, Facebook, Instagram, and we got some other ones as well. You can see all of our stories play out and more what we're doing daily. We appreciate every one of you guys that have tuned in and chimed in tonight. Until we see you next time, y'all stay